Welcome to the Weekday Report for Friday, April 25th. I'm Joe Potente. Here's a brief look at the news. A 33-year-old Sun Prairie woman is dead, and her 34-year-old husband remains in extreme critical condition after a two-vehicle crash that closed I-94 in Kenosha County for several hours overnight. The couple was traveling southbound near Highway 142 about 10:45 p.m. Thursday when their minivan struck the back of a semi-trailer in a construction area where the freeway narrows. The woman, a passenger in the van, was pronounced dead at the scene. The male driver was flown to Frederick Hospital with severe injuries. It's back to the drawing board for the Shalom Center in its effort to open a permanent homeless shelter. Here's Joe Ward with the story.
I'm Joe Ward with the Kenosha News here at City Hall Thursday night, where the City Plan Commission just convened after voting to deny a rezoning for a new homeless shelter. The Shalom Center has offered plans to turn a former St. Vincent de Paul thrift store into a homeless shelter. To do that, they needed to rezone the property to institutional zoning. That was denied tonight by the commission because they said the community near the brass site is too concentrated with other civil services, and that the plan was not consistent with the community's long-term goals.
And I hate to say it, but this does not really meet the long-range plans that the city has drawn up and paid to have studies done to upgrade this particular area. For the Kenosha News, I'm Joe Ward.
Thanks, Joe. A third man was charged in the April 14th shooting that killed Anthony M. Edwards. 20-year-old Brandon L. Horak of Kenosha appeared in court Thursday on a single charge of felony murder. Police believe Horak arranged for the homicide suspects to meet with the victim, knowing they intended to rob him. Marquise Tibbs and Joseph Jamal Brantley are charged with first-degree reckless homicide, armed robbery, and first-degree recklessly endangering safety. Horak is being held on a $100,000 cash bond. A Kenosha man caught selling $3,400 in heroin to a confidential informant was sentenced Thursday to 4 years in prison. 28-year-old Alonzo Connor III brought the drugs into a Taco Bell bathroom and exchanged them for money provided by law enforcement. A mock accident was staged Thursday to teach a lesson to high school students. Jill Roselle has the story.
Kenosha Central High School juniors and seniors got a visual and loud message about the dangers of drinking and driving Thursday prior to this weekend's prom. Students looked on as fellow classmates portrayed victims of a mock two-car crash with fatalities. They watched as several classmates were zipped into body bags, as another was flown by Flight for Life helicopter from the scene, and as an officer conducted the standardized field sobriety test of the drunk driver. The mock accident is held annually but alternates between Westosha Central and Wilmot High Schools. For the Kenosha News, this is Jill Roselle.
Shoreland baseball fell to Greendale Martin Luther on Thursday. David Marin has the details.
Colin Schneider pitches for Shoreland during the Pacers Metro Classic Conference baseball game against Greendale Martin Luther on Thursday in Summers. The game was tied 1-1 after one inning, but visiting Martin Luther scored 2 in the 6th and 5 more in the 7th to win the game. Martin Luther finished with 10 hits, while Marcus Held was 2 for 3 for Shoreland. David Marin, Kenosha News.
What's trending today? The Chicago City Council is moving closer to banning plastic bags in most stores by summer 2015. Mayor Rahm Emanuel supports the ban aimed at improving the environment. What do you think? Tell us on our Facebook page. Up next is Jesse Tuttle with a preview of a Carthage Theater production of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels opening tonight.
Carthage College Theater will perform a stage adaptation of a comedic film in its production of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels opening today. The musical is based on a popular 1988 movie which asks how far a man is willing to go to win a bet or make a buck. Director Neil Sharnick said the production showcases the growth of Carthage's fine arts programs in both quantity and quality, with impressive musical and comedic talent in the cast and crew. Performances run through May 4th. For the Kenosha News, I'm Jesse Tuttle.
Thanks, Jesse. Now here's a look at what we're working on today. Diane Giles has this month's House of Worship feature, a look at St. Matthew's Episcopal Church, and this week's Sunday Choice package by Mike Johnson introduces us to some of the host families that will house the players of the Kenosha Kingfish. Pick up a copy of the Kenosha News and check kenoshanews.com for all the details on these stories and more. I'm Joe Potente with the Weekday Report.